Mahalia, in this world, you must know who you are.
I don't know what just happened. The thing cut off. It was weird. But so I was going to do Someone Like Me by M.R. Carey, but instead I'm going to do that tomorrow. So I'll have just an extra video up this week. Today I was talking to my mom earlier because I talk to her every day. And I was telling her when I was writing, the hardest thing for me to write is a friendship. And I remember talking to John Muir Middle School. I didn't go to John Muir Middle School, but my mom works there, and it's like I talked to 6th grade and 8th grade, and it was really interesting the questions I got about friendship and true friendship and real friends and fake friends and how hard it is. And I realized that even as an adult, it's really hard to make good friends. Like, you think you have good friends, and then when things get really rough, or, you know, finances or relationships or anything, or time or distance gets in the way, then like your friendship is really put to the test. And so to put that in writing, because I write, you know, urban fantasy and epic fantasy, I have to torture my characters. And so that's a whole nother ballgame of torturing a friendship. Like, the worst way to betray your friend in middle school is to like the guy, or to talk behind each other's back, or, you know, anything like that. And it's the same as an adult. It's just on a different scale, and the risks are higher because there's more variables in it, and there are more mature feelings involved. And so what I learned from middle schoolers, which I'm not knocking, it's really great, is that you really never know who your friends are until, like, shit hits the fan. Figuratively and, you know, sometimes realistically. But in writing, you want your character to have a band of friends. Whether they are good, whether they are evil, you want them to have a group of people who understand them and accept them. And as I said in my other video, which I'm going to really try and do like everybody else and have the videos up above in the little, you know, things. But my character is an anti-hero. She's not a villain. She's not a hero. She's kind of in the middle, the necessary evil that still needs friends. Like, you know. But I have to, like, and it hurts so bad because I was like, I have to have her go through these different tests with her friends to see who's truly her friend, who's not her friend. And then if you, I don't know who isn't watching Game of Thrones, but if you're watching Game of Thrones, you kind of like look at the relationships and the friendships and you're like, oh my god, those are awful friendships. Or oh my god, Tyrion and Bronn are like friend goals to a point. I don't know about the whole thing, but you know, the different levels of a friendship in writing is so hard. So as you know, this month for Camp NaNoWriMo, I'm doing mostly outlining for my course as well. And now that I've done like my main character, I'm not tearing up, I promise. I need to create my side characters, also my main character's best friends. And I really was like thinking back on the questions that I was asked when I FaceTimed John Muir Middle School. How do you know who your true friends are? You don't, do you? Until you're put to the test. Like, how do you know who your fake friends are? Some people say it's because they're only into you for what you have or what you can give to them. And then I thought about, I wish I would have, like, you know, told one of the girls who asked me. So if you're watching this, I hope like this answers that question, because I didn't know how to answer it at first. And how do I say this? It's like sometimes your friend is your friend and you're not their friend. But friends are, you know, a mutual exchange of emotions, memories, and promises. It's kind of like a relationship, except, you know, there's not that level of intimacy. So every friendship is like a relationship, and not all of them work out, and some of them work out better than others. but they're all a life lesson. So as you know, as adults, you know, we have best friends, we have childhood best friends, and we have like our, you know, our ride or dies, our squads, everything, which is also what we want in BookTube. But that's not necessarily the case, and there's nothing wrong with that. Having a big group of friends is great, but having one or two really good friends is better, in my opinion. Your opinion matters too, but this is my opinion because this is my video. So, and say this because as I was creating my side characters, my main character's best friends, I had to figure out how to torture them and how to make them relate to my main character, because I've tortured my main character to make her relatable to real life, because I don't believe in the perfect skin, the hair, all that stuff to make her perfect. I believe in relatability. And so I struggled when thinking about this. And so when I read Someone Like Me and I was thinking about the friendships within that book, I realized that they're put to the test through trust. That is like the ultimate test. Like, can you trust your friend with your secrets? Because even if you hesitate to tell someone, then you don't trust them, which isn't bad. A secret's best kept when it's just one person. But, you know, you don't want to have that whole burden on you. And so I went online and I looked up, you know, best friend questions. Because when you're in middle school, you know, you write letters to your best friend. You know, share notes back and forth. And there's this intimacy in those letters. And so I might put the resources I found down below, but if they're just really like interview questions, you know, like your first date kind of questions that I found to create my character's friends were easy, because you have that friend that's really cynical. You have that friend that's very boy crazy or girl crazy, very like womanizing, or, you know, a man eater. And then you have that friend that's kind of like chill. Like, you have the different tropes that make a balanced friendship group. But say there's only like the Three Musketeers, there's only 3 of you, you know, and how does that work out? And so when I was doing my outlining, because, you know, I'm not really like, I'm writing, but I'm not really writing, I realized that my character created these friendships not through sympathy, but through empathy and apathy, because she could relate on so many levels to how they were feeling. Because although they're, you know, various age ranges, because, you know, urban fantasy is my thing, and everyone is like a supernatural twist of something, it made it easier for me. But in real life, I was like, how do I know my friends are really my friends? Like, when shit hits the fan, like, I look and like, who do I really call? Like, I know I can call, but will they answer? And 9 times out of 10, like, you know the friend that will answer no matter what. You know that friend that's going to give you the advice you need. And you know you have that friend that's going to give you the advice you want rather than need, because those are 2 different things, as we all know. And so this video is not really a rant, but it's more like a epiphany, come to Jesus, brainstorming kind of thing, to where, like, when we look at, I guess I don't read a lot of YA like I thought I did. When we look at anime and we see like Naruto or One Piece, there's like, One Piece has a group, and I put my hand right here because I'm going to put a picture. There's a group of friends, and they're bound together by their captain Luffy, who has promised and to protect their dreams and to make their dreams come true. And then we have Naruto, which is like, you know, the 3 of them, one of them betrays the 2, and it's a mess. But at the end, they're all like linked together through their dreams, like. And I found that to be amazing, because in One Piece, everyone is trying to help Luffy get his dream, because once he gets his dream, all their dreams come to fruition. And I thought that was amazing, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've learned something. And then I look at an anti-hero, which is, you know, that kind of thing, which is like Overlord, Hellsing, the Black Butler. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm gonna just put the list of the anime titles down below, and you can kind of like go on any other channel. I recommend Glass Reflection. He does really good anime reviews, and if you should watch it, is it worth watching? I watch him all the time. So I will put the link to his channel down below, along with a list of the anime that I'm talking about, if you don't know what I'm talking about. These are also manga and light novel adaptations as well. But for, as my, like, you know, my favorite light novel is the Saga of Tanya the Evil. Her friends aren't her friends, if that makes sense. They're not her friends, she's their friend. She helps them. They don't really help her truly. They follow her orders, but they are loyal to her because they know that she'll go above and beyond to make sure the mission is done, and if they follow her orders, they'll live. So it's a very interesting dynamic between all these different anti-heroes or heroes, because One Piece, they're anti-heroes, they're pirates. Like, that's not a hero, that's not a villain. Like, they're doing whatever they want to do, which I didn't realize until now. So, which is great. But where was I going with this? Oh yeah, friendship. So so the different levels of friendship can be vague, and then they can be detailed. You can grow into your friendship, you know, like you grow with your friends, whether you're with them or not. Like, I still talk to tons of people from middle school, but I'm friends with only a few. And that's another thing. Do you value your friendships? So some people throw that word around very loosely. I do not. And the reason why is because there's a connection with that word, like lover, boyfriend, husband, mother, sister. Those are connecting words to, I feel, personal opinion, to your soul. So I don't think friend is something that can be thrown around. It's more like an associate, a fellow booktuber, a fellow, you know. But for friends, like in the middle of the night, you can call me and I'll answer because something has to be wrong. Those are the different levels, you know. And so when you deem someone your friend, like example, when I do it, because I was like, what would my character do when she makes a friend? She'd give them a nickname. It's just like a small, you know, kind of thing. And I was talking to my mom, so let's go back to talking to my mom, and she was like, what's the craziest nickname you've given someone as an adult? And I was like, oh, that's easy. I don't know, I think we're friends. But I call her, and she knows who she is, I call her Grapefruit, because either you like her or you don't. And I love grapefruit. I don't like the fruit really, but grapefruit. I'm gonna put a picture of grapefruit. Not the person, but of, you know, the fruit, in case you don't know what that is, which is strange, but that's okay. But all my friends, my really close friends, have a nickname, whether, you know, they know it or not, you know. They all have. My really close friends have nicknames, like Mini Muncher. I just love her so much. Like, that's like my best friend. Like, it's just Minnie, and it's my besta. And so when I look back on talking to John Muir, I just get a nostalgic feeling on, like, why did I think that creating friends for my character would be so hard? I could just use all the friendships, you know, I've had, the ones that worked, the ones that didn't, and kind of like mutate them and sprinkle some fantasy on them and make them wonderful or make them suck. Because either way, you grow from your friends. You learn, and, you know, you develop into your own self. Unless, you know, you're a sheeple. Sheeple is sheep people. Those are the followers that do not lead. They kind of just do what they're told, and they just kind of bah all the way. Is that a sheep or is that a lamb? I don't know. I don't know what sounds they make, but you know. You know if you're a sheeple because you'll be offended. Sorry if you're offended. So I'm not trying to offend anyone, but these are facts. And this is me rambling, but I wanted to kind of let everyone who is writing in NaNoWriMo, can't NaNoWriMo, or is going to participate in the next one, or is prepping for the next one, that when creating your character, I highly recommend you think of what kind of friend they are, because that will also help you figure out what kind of friends they need. I know I'd spent like, what, 15 minutes telling you all this just to end it like, this is it, like this right here, this one sentence that I've been like just kind of beating around the bush about. But in writing your character, I highly recommend you sit down, obviously, and you interview your character based off of a few questions. I will have that link down below, and it's just like an interview, like, what's your favorite flower, what's your favorite color, what do your friends say about you, what do they think about you, like, what do you think about what they think, things like that, because that helps you create their friends. Because if they have a friend that thinks they're reckless, if they have a friend that thinks they're responsible, why do those friends think that they're reckless and responsible? Like, are those friends like reckless that think they're responsible and they go to them for advice? Or does the responsible friend think that they're reckless and they don't think things through and they never have a plan? That right there is character growth and a character arc. Like, that's the perfect character friendship arc to me. So if you're new to this channel, hi. Welcome. If you are from John Muir Middle School, hi. You are a teacher from John Muir Middle School, thank you for letting me talk to your class. I had a blast. I learned so much from them that I can't even put into words. I really can't. Like, I've learned and remembered a lot about myself as a child, and it was humbling. Thanks, Mom. And if you are new, hit subscribe, the bell for notifications, because I do this twice a week. Sometimes I'll sprinkle a little bit more, like this week. What else? Oh, Monday and Friday by 5 p.m. Eastern time. That is my goal. Sometimes I might be late or a little early, depending on how long it takes me to edit and to get this out there into the world. But it is Friday, you guys. You made it through the week. You've made it through another week of OWL exams, through another week of Can't NaNoWriMo, and let me know how that's going down below. And I will see you guys later. Bye.